Hello everyone. Welcome to this special edition of Samruddhi Express Speed, Scale and Safety. We have been talking about this subject since the day it started or the very concept that was introduced into the market. But India today is talking about the safety and the accidents that is happening on this expressway. It's a prestigious project. We have with us here today Shri Rajesh Patil, the Joint Managing Director of MSRDC. A very warm welcome, sir. Thank you for the time you have extended for Traffic Infratech to talk about this very prestigious project. So the first thing is today we are talking about, we have the advanced highways, we are using the latest technology, and this is a very, very long stretch. But yet, safety is something that we are worried about. Why do you think that this is a paradox that we are facing today?
Yeah, safety we are worried about because you see we have constructed expressway. So its quality is very, very good. Riding quality is also very good. So because of that, people try to overspeed. So actually speed is the single largest reason for all these accidents. So actually when we had opened the expressway to the traffic, so in initial 100 days, so there were nearly 300 accidents. So small accidents you can say, not a major one. So later on, the people realized because that was a new road and people enjoyed overspeeding on that road. But when they realized that overspeeding can kill them, it is risky. Speed, as we say, thrills but kills. So from that point of view, so they realized, and later on also from our experience. So after months, after passage of some years, so we also realized what all things are required to be done.
Right. So basically you're saying it's because of speed that we're facing accidents today?
Yeah, you can say speed is the mother cause or father cause of these accidents.
Okay.
Everything is related to the speed. Even if you say because of some parking of vehicles, because of that there is a rear end collision. The reason behind it is again speed. Got it? If the speed is less, even if the vehicle is parked, the driver can understand that there is a vehicle, there is an obstruction. But when speed is 120, got it? So actually our official speed is 120. But often we see that people exceed that speed. Many they travel at 140, 170. They think that this is a runway. Actually, we have constructed a road and it is meant for vehicles, not aeroplanes. And because of technology, you see that is possible. Technology, all vehicles are high-tech vehicles. Just to increase the speed from 60 to 140, it is very easy for them. But when we have good technology at our disposal, so we have to see that it is used in a proper way.
How can we make the citizens responsible now?
Yeah, you see, we'll have to teach them by the way of education. Now we have some initiatives also, right? In the school itself, we'll have to teach them. Drivers also at the time of giving license. So you see the practice of giving license, actually when it was planned and all these things, the way manner in which license should be given. So at that time there were no expressways. So in their questionnaire or when taking the interviews of driver, so this also should come into picture. So before interview, so some information is given to the person who is trying to seek the license.
Right.
At that time we should tell him about expressway also, what all things are required. Because you see many drivers, they are not aware, just like any other road. So they try to park the vehicle on the expressway. But they don't know that on parking on expressway, it can prove very dangerous thing. Because vehicles which are coming at speed, so they will not understand whether the vehicle is moving or it is standstill. Even if you also see if you are traveling at a speed, you don't understand the vehicle, whether that is moving or that is standstill. And that is naturally likely to hit that.
Presently you have used signages, etc. to...
Yeah, there are signages, but you see at speed of 170, you cannot read that. So signages are designed for speed of 120. When you're driving at 120, easily you can read the signages. So font size and all that. So they are designed in such a way, the distance from the road, where it is installed. But at 140, 170, then got it. The driver has no time also to read and all these things.
While we are talking about driver behavior, there's also a point that has been raised that possibly because there are no exit lanes on the expressway, the fatigue comes in and, people are tending to more prone to accidents.
Now you see, as far as this exit in this one ways are concerned, so we call this as an access controlled expressway. So it is meant to travel a long distance in short time. So as for IRC also, within a distance of 25 kilometers, we cannot provide any exits. So for Samruddhi Mahamarg, the total length is 701 kilometer. So we have 25 interchanges. So roughly at 10 kilometer of 25 kilometer, every 25 kilometer, so they can exit. So that is not an issue. So actually the issue here is that you can say from a driver's end, so they have to travel a long distance. So what was required was that they should have parking lanes, truck terminus and all that. So now we have planned that now we have proposal to construct truck terminus at nearly 9 locations. So the driver fatigue. So we have food plazas also. When we started the road, so there were very few food plazas and all that. So now we'll be establishing about 29 toll locations. Out of 29, 16 to 20 are already in place, and rest also will be in place shortly.
Okay.
And regarding this truck terminus, so we have started acquiring the land. So the moment we get the land, so we'll be in position to park nearly 200 to 200 plus trucks there.
Right.
So then it can be a rest period for the drivers also. So the driver fatigue, so that can be reduced in this way. Monotony, we can break the monotony.
You're right.
We can then there'll be a little bit digression. Because of that, the driver will be in position to concentrate and try again after getting sufficient rest.
Right. So this has been planned in the existing or in the extension that is going to come?
The existing Samruddhi Mahamarg.
Nice.
So there will be 22 full plazas, or you can say we call it wayside amenities.
Yes,
10
wayside
locations. Roughly, there you can say 15 on this side, one corridor, Nagpur corridor, and 15 on Mumbai corridor. And regarding truck terminals also, now we are planning to do 9. So roughly, you can say 5 on either side.
Okay.
So again, we are in the process of getting more land.
So this is also, there is a bid that is going for this?
It is going on, yeah.
I see.
So this one, wayside amenities, I have told you 16. Already they are in
Place.
operation. Yeah, they are in place, they are in operation. Rest, they are in process. Maybe in next few months. So they will also be in operation.
Moving forward, what is the kind of rules and regulations or stringent measures is going to be taken to ensure that there is lane discipline, there is, on such corridors and the access control, etc.?
Now you see, when we talk about expressway, so the vehicles travel there at a speed of 120 kilometers. So enforcement by the way of policing and all that. So that is very difficult. On other roads, presence of police. So because of that, the drivers, they try to reduce the speed. But on expressway, that is not possible. So actually, when we started the expressway, at that time, actually, one person was driving at a very high speed. And when the RTO police, he tried to stop that. Because of that, it led to an accident.
Oh my God.
Because the moment it stopped, so there was a rear end collision. So so it is not practically possible here, physical policing and all that. So only what we can do is by the way of technology. So now this ITMS, Intelligent Traffic Management System. So we are doing that now. So that work is going on. So for that, so we'll have to install several cameras. So cameras are to the tune of 4,000 plus. So those will be installed on Samruddhi Mahamarg. So for that we require gantries also. So nearly hundreds of gantries will be installed. And then for transmission of data, we require this optical fiber cable also. So that work also is going on. So laying of optical fiber cable, installation of gantries. And once gantries are installed, so there will be devices installed on that. Then we'll have to develop a software. So then that software will be linked to NIC. And then by that way, NIC and Highway Safety Police. And then there are, you see, as per Motor Vehicle Act, so there are 18 offences.
Okay.
18 offences. Out of 18 officers, so 17 offences we have considered. Only one offence regarding pedestrian crossing, so that we have not considered. So because that doesn't come into picture here.
Correct.
So 17 offences. So by the way of ITMS, you can say in a computerized way. So we'll be monitoring that.
Right.
So for example, if a driver is overspeeding, we'll understand that. So automatically a challan will be generated against his name and a challan will be issued. Similarly, suppose a wrong side entry, parking of vehicles on expressway. So immediately a challan will be generated.
Correct.
And he'll be fined. Right. So that presently is the only deterrent, heavy fine penalty. So by that way, so we'll have to monitor this. Otherwise, it is not possible.
Correct.
Physically, it is almost impossible. So this is the only solution at our disposal. And maybe in next 12 months, so we are trying to do ITMS for Samruddhi Mahamarg in 2 phases. So first out of 701 kilometers, we'll be targeting 250 kilometers. First 250 kilometers. And then the balance one.
Right.
So maybe in next 6 to 12 months, so that will be in place. So as far as Mumbai Pune Expressway is concerned already, so from past 12 months, so that is in function. So we are generating the challan. And so we have found the efficacy of this to a very great extent. So because of that, now drivers have understood that the moment they overspeed, so they are likely to get a challan. And so that has proved very beneficial. Nice. So same thing here also, it will help us.
Right. So the existing ITMS system that is available in India, is it good enough to control the Indian corridors, or do you think we still need some better technology?
Yeah, it is good enough. The issue regarding this is recovery. For example, you can generate the challan, but recovery is the issue. So in India, it is observed that recovery is only 30 to 40%. You see truck, all these trailers and all this, they come from several states. Now suppose if you have generated challan for a truck in Tamil Nadu, so now the issue is how to recover. So I think in UP also they had this issue. So later on, it is difficult to recover 30. So recovery rate is only 30 to 40%. So if that can be improved, so then a right message will go to that particular person. So maybe occasionally, quarterly or biannually, they take a drive, a traffic, highway safety police and all that. So they stop all the vehicles now because of mobile app.
Right.
Immediately we can understand on a particular vehicle how many challans are there. So we can stop the vehicle there itself and we can see that it is recalled. That also is difficult because you see the truck actually, the owner is different. And the person who comes, so is the driver.
Correct.
So he has nothing in his hands. And you see, if you just see the scale on Mumbai Pune Expressway, nearly 1 lakh or 1 lakh plus vehicles travel per day. So how to keep a record? And where you can stand them. For example, if you want to check how many vehicles they have not paid the challan. So where is the spot for them to make them wait and all that to check? So that is the difficult thing.
So
And for Samruddhi Mahamarg also, you see 50 to 55,000 vehicles travel per day. So we don't have the moment. Suppose if we make somewhere a stop to see whether anyone has paid, so again there will be congestion there. So that is not possible. So we require some form of technology. So we can achieve that. If we can increase that recovery rate, then this will be a good trade option. So not only in words, in spirit also. No, but it is as good as in words. So in spite of that also there is good recovery, 30 to 40%. So that is the only obstacle in India for this ITMS.
have you experienced any better option in other countries?
Actually, other countries, if you see, they have some good rules also. For example, as far as drivers are concerned, so they have to, in a day, they can drive only 10 hours. So beyond 10 hours, they cannot drive. And you see, because of banking system and all that, so they are integrated in a proper way.
Correct.
So for them, recovery is not the issue.
So you talk about the auto deduction.
Recovery is the issue.
I
You see, scale of India, you see, we have seen European countries also. So in a way, they are small countries. And the persons flying, so they are well defined.
Correct.
Here you see, it is a vast country. And traffic, you see, comes from all ends. So that is very difficult.
Understood.
One thing, identify the offense, issue the challan. Everywhere it is like this. Either do it manually or do it in a computerized way. And then recover the funds.
Absolutely.
Only they should be connected, well connected with the banking system and all that.
So what about technologies where we are talking about AI-based monitoring or, predictive alerts or automated enforcement?
That is possible. You see, we can do that. For example, but for that, what we require is that all vehicles will have to be SIM enabled. So suppose, for example, now we can track everything because of AI. So 55,000 vehicles, their path, how they are traveling, their speed. So because of AI, at a glance, AI will understand everything. It can take a snapshot of this. For example, if you are knowing now because of AI that X vehicle is likely to collide with some other vehicle, a Y vehicle. But how we can give this message to that vehicle?
Okay, the
So for that, what we
vehicle.
require, yeah. So SIM enabled vehicles.
Yes.
So if that is possible, then on dashboard itself, we can give some red signal, that some red alert that you will have to stop. So this is again like a driverless car.
Yeah.
So what algorithm we use for driverless cars, same can be used here. So and same can be, then we can make operational use of that to say that accidents are avoided. So recently Honda, you see Honda company. So they have developed a good software. So they had come here recently. But this software is limited only to understand the road condition.
I see.
So as far as all new Honda cars, so they are SIM enabled. SIM enabled, and software has been developed in this fashion that to their headquarters. So road condition is communicated there.
Okay.
So the moment it applies on Samruddhi Mahamarg, so every time the road condition of Samruddhi Mahamarg is communicated to the server of Honda. So that also can be useful information, but that is for maintenance of road. So that information can be useful.
I see.
But from this point of view, it is possible. But for that, they are made SIM enabled. Similarly, all cars will have to make SIM enabled. And for message, so on dashboard, there should be some provision.
Correct.
For example, from our control room, if you have to give some message, some AI based message, so that can be given and it can be alerted. And from that way. But you see, again, as I told you, so technology, you see, I completed my MTech in 1995. So at that time, we had read this Khanna in just a book. So that was regarding total response time, how much we require, suppose if there is any problem. So at that time, it was 2.5 seconds. But we call it, you see, the perception time. The moment you see there is some danger, the driver has to perceive that.
Correct.
Then we see the intellection. So the moment he sees that there is a danger, so then he relates whether in past has he seen this type of scenario, what is required to be done. So intellection, you see. And then the emotions, at that time maybe in what emotions is, we don't know. PIE, and the last is volition. So lastly he has to execute that. So all these 4 steps go in our brain. So our brain, you see, is not evolved 2.5 seconds. So that is same. Maybe because of our unhealthy habits, so maybe that has deteriorated.
Correct.
But now technology, so that we have in our hand. So got it. We can turn vehicle in any way. We can increase the speed. We can deaccelerate the speed. But this creates the whole issue.
Correct.
But the brain is traditional. So, and the equipment which we have, its capacity is increasing like anything. So there is a mismatch between these two.
Right.
So that, you see, ultimately then only the golden rule is that you'll have to drive at a proper speed.
Correct.
For example, even if you take the city road. Now you see, let us take the case of city roads also. Now we are talking about expressways. Always we feel that there will be more casualties on expressways. But if you just see the cases of city also in isolation, any city, for example, Pune city also. In Pune city also, you see casualties because of vehicles and all that. That is to the road accident. That is to the tune of thousands or near to thousand. So that is also very alarming. So you see, actually, what is required? What is the golden standard? Whenever you are driving in any city, the speed should be 30 kilometers per hour. So actually, no one follows that. Actually, that is required to be rigidly followed.
But we want to reach the place long distances at
But
30
in
kilometers.
city that is not possible. No, highway is different thing.
Right.
In expressway, so our speed is 120 kilometer per hour.
Correct.
But in city, you see the speed limit is this one. Globally, it is 30 kilometer per hour. So, but in city, what has happened? So, no one is aware of speed limit. So, in Germany, there are autobahns. So, on autobahns, you can drive at any speed. So, actually, when we had gone to Germany, we made this point to see that visit that road. So, actually, on that road, we drove it at a speed of 220 kilometer per hour. So, that was fine. But here, what is happening? So, but the condition of road is like that, and all people, all the persons who are driving there, so they are aware, they follow rules and all that. But exactly what happens here? So, they think that roads which are in the city, so they think, our people think that it is autobahn. Actually, it's not autobahn. So you see, people, as per their wish, they drive at any speed. So that has to be restricted. So that is the only thing.
Right.
So I told you that it is the mother of all reasons, speed.
Correct.
So only you see the looking at our traditional brain or this one, mental situation. Even you see for pilots also, from recent accidents, you have learned that before going to a plane, they do all conduct all test and all
Right,
that.
right.
Yeah, they relax also. So that is also required now if you have to drive at such a high speed. Normal speed 550, 60, 80 kilometers, that is fine. But the moment you cross this 80, 90 mark, so then it becomes very difficult.
Correct.
So it's very challenging, and it is challenging to your brain also, your responses and all that.
Right.
See, when you're traveling at speed, so the peripheral vision, so that is reduced. So because of that, you'll have to see that you drive at an appropriate speed, so vision broadens. And then you understand vehicles, if any vehicle is coming from wrong direction. At our level, we try to take a lot of control. But in spite of that, suppose if the other person, if he makes some mistake, because of his mistake, you may land into the problem if you are at high speed and because of this narrowed vision. So this is required to be considered.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the last questions. Any policy changes you think is required to improve the road safety or, high speed corridors for these high speed corridors?
Yeah. One thing I told you regarding these drivers. You see, drivers, we don't know for how long they have been driving. So abroad, so there are some restrictions that in a day he can drive only 10 hours.
Correct.
And then he has to take his vehicle aside and stop it, wherever this 10 hours are completed. So we'll have to see that same things are enforced here also. And secondly, I told you at the time of license, issuing license. So in that also, they should be made aware of this expressway requirements. So on expressway, what are the things required to be followed? Now all highway safety police, they know what all things are required to be followed. So before the test, many things are displayed. And the persons who is seeking license is required to go through all the display. So in that display, they should have the display also.
So you're saying that the training also has to change?
Training, yeah.
The exam that you're
Recent
giving?
reality, things which have changed. So while issuing the license, so the license issuing authority, you should be aware of that. So that is required. And regarding policy, I have told you that we should try to make SIM-enabled vehicles. So now you see when vehicles are traveling at a 120, 140 speed, so it is just like an aeroplane.
Correct.
So you see when aeroplane is flying, so it has a lot of controls. From control stations, we can give a lot of input to the plane. So we should have similar controls here also. Now, in fact, it is, you can say, a de facto aeroplane itself.
Correct.
So from that point of view, so it should be SIM enabled, and the control room should be in position to give message to them. From the record itself, we can understand that the driver was sufficiently cautioned in time. In spite of that, he did repeated mistakes. So because of that, he landed into the problem. And realizing this, then many people will start controlling things also. The moment you get a message from control room,
Right.
so they'll be happy.
We need a black box in every car.
Black box. So you see that also,
Right.
a black box of thing. Now, because of technology, that is not that difficult, that costly also.
Absolutely.
So we'll understand everything, exactly what happened at that time.
Right.
Even if he gets message from control room also, he'll remain he'll be under control.
Right.
Yeah. So we can avoid many accidents by this way.
Yes.
Firstly, in future, so that thing is likely to take place, because I have told you the example of Honda. So when Honda have come with this version, so already all their cars are SIM enabled. Only they have to improve the dashboard, and then they have to receive proper signal from any control room. That is the only thing they are required to do, and they will do it then. Only one thing is that when you are driving on an expressway, see that you don't violate the speed. So speed, even if speed is 120, you try to say that you some 15-20 kilometers you reduce your speed. Maybe if you drive at 190 kilometers, so that is more safer. So don't see that you reach the limit.
Thank you so much, sir.